Hi Leo, welcome to Swedish Dharma Tarot. My name's Christina. I'm a Swedish Australian psychic, medium and artist. And this will be the fifth reading I do for you guys. It's an honor and a pleasure. And here comes the card flying. This is interesting. It came up reversed, which is a good thing. For me, the Four of Cups is a card of abuse. It's a card of dependency and codependency, and it can be abuse of drugs and alcohol, of course. Workaholics get this card. But when it comes up reversed, then it's been released. It's become a part of the past of the person, or if this is the person, her or himself, then they've sobered up. So we'll see what that has to say. What more the cards have to say. It's one of my work themes. We're often delegated different themes to work with, and of course that relates back to our own backgrounds. What do we know about? What do we have experience of? What do we have knowledge of? And for me, I've grown up in a family with an alcoholic father, and so with a codependent mother. So per definition, that's what I am too. So that's something that I've worked with for the last 20 years or something, to not change myself. I don't think you can change it, but you can become aware of it. And you can certainly become aware of when you're acting in a codependent manner. Yeah. Good information to have about yourself. You've heard it before. If it doesn't resonate, then please check your rising sign, your ascendant, or your moon, your Venus, or your Mars, and see if that might resonate a bit more. Or else change the reader. I hope you don't feel the need to do that, because I love Leos and I have a lot of Leo in me. Yeah, good thing that. But if you do, then do it. If you have to, then do it, because it's important that you feel the confidence for the person who's doing the reading for you. I'm shuffling. And please, Spirit, what does Leo need to know? What would you like to tell Leo? The second card that fell out is the Ten of Staves. For me, that's simply some form of communication coming through. I can't differentiate between a text or a phone call or a letter. But maybe that's not so important. And then the first card on the table here is actually work. We'll see where it's going to take you, Leo. If that's your dependency, maybe. That you're a workaholic. Or have been, of course. I'd like to say also that the cards I work with are called the Goddess Tarot, and they are made by Chris Waldher. Beautiful cards. And the major arcana is made up of different goddesses from different time periods and different places around the world. Yeah, we have the world here as well. So, I see two people in fire signs, but I think it's the woman that I need to address, but I'm not sure. So the King of Wands comes up in the reverse, and the Queen of Wands, well, she's herself. And there are big changes, big transformations happening here with this couple, and certainly it has to do with work. Transformation, number 13. Is it the Death card? Yeah, I think it's the Death card. So, go with the flow is the big thing here, I believe. And somebody has changed. I don't like it when other readers say somebody, but I don't know what else to do when I see a man and a woman. I think they belong together, and one of them is a workaholic, and they've tried to get on top of that, They're working very hard at that and taking steps to deal with their anxiety and their sorrow and in other ways, because that's of course what it's all about. There's something underlying here. When we abuse substances or whatever, underneath it all is often a psychic problem, like anxiety or depression. So I think it's the man. So I will talk directly to the man, who's extremely creative, by the way, artistic maybe even. And there's no lack of love in this marriage or in this family. I see one daughter, perhaps a son as well. Yes, there was a son. But there's certainly a lot of anxiety for the man. But what I like with him, maybe she's the Leo and he's a Sagittarian, because the star comes up. I'm just speculating. But the star, this card, it's actually the card for Aquarius. But the star tells me that this person is always upright, honest. He doesn't care about conforming. He can conform, or she can conform if she finds that that would be a good thing to do, but if she doesn't feel it's good to do, then they're not going to do it. So this is the person that you will always know who they are and where you stand with them, which makes them kind of cool to be around. And they're very loving as well. This man is very loving, but he has anxiety problems. The Four of Swords, and I think the other one is the Nine of Swords. When they come upright, the person is at the very best very, very tired. But most likely, and I feel it's certainly the case here, they're quite anxious and depressed. And trying to cope with that by working, not having to think, or rather feel, just concentrating, focusing on work and being in the flow of that. It's finished now. I don't know if he has resigned. He could have. I see the work card actively, but I see the Justice card, which of course also is a card for contracts, not least of all work contracts, coming up in reverse. So if he hasn't stopped working, then I think he has certainly cut down on his work. And he is going to start to heal, if he's not started already. Maybe he's cutting down or quitting his job next week. Time is a bit iffy like that. So maybe he's not come into this process yet, but it's just around the corner. And when he climbs in over that threshold, he will begin to heal very quickly. And we see the Nine of Swords now coming up in the reverse. So this is healing. This is letting go of that anxiety. This Three of Swords, when it comes up reverse, is exactly the same. Pain and sorrow that we hold on to, but that he's now managed to let go of. And he's starting to see the light, yeah. Feeling hopeful that everything will be all right. And it will be. It will be. But he's probably going to have to go through a period of mourning. It's a sort of recovery. And even though he's sober, there's still a recovery in this. And in order to recover completely, he has to see and understand, and most of all, accept what has been happening with his workaholicism. Can't say it. You know what I mean, though. And why it's happened. So there's a lot of inner work that needs to be done. But you, my Leo woman, you're standing him by and you're supporting him in this. Everything will be fine. So that's what the tarot has to say to you. And we'll see what the Goddess Oracle guidance cards have to say. Doreen Virtue cards. How many has she made? Formidable woman. And these cards are a gift from my soul sister, Julia, in Australia. God bless Australia with all the fires and the terrible things that are happening. Oh, I feel I'm choking up. Please say a prayer for them. So, here we go. Kuan Yin. She's a Buddha for the Chinese people. Compassion. Well, that's what Buddhism is all about. Love and compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. I think that's wonderful, and that really, I hope you feel supported, my dear Leo wife, but even your husband, I think, can take a lot of solace from that card. Then we also have a yogic path. It's a must for a Dharma tarot company. And here we find deities and yoga and Ayurveda, lots of things. So Spirit, please, what would you like to tell our Leo wife and her husband? He could be a Leo too. There we go. I think it says tapas. I need to dry my eyes. 2 seconds, please. Yes, tapas. Beautiful card. I have no idea what it is. It's from yoga. Niyama, self-discipline. Wow, that's a very good one to have when you're working against your own addictions or, forms of abuse. You've gotten where you are because of your discipline. That is what tapas mean, apparently. And this will continue to take you where you need to go. While discipline, in citation marks, sounds like a heavy word, it's really just committing to becoming the highest version of yourself. The next evolvement will require refinement of your inner strength. I think too, when it comes to workaholics, it's an escape. There's no refinement in there. But now, dear Leo couple, I will say that the husband has made the decision to get on top of this addiction. Then we can talk refinement, I'm sure. You're undergoing a deep transformation, stepping outside of your comfort zone, gaining strength, moving through fear. Well, yeah, so strong, and that's what we have to do when we're trying to sober up or working through addictions. Yeah. Now is the time to ask yourself the important questions. What practices have I committed to? What practices do I still need to commit to? Is my daily routine serving me? How can I improve it? Where do I need to set boundaries in my life to further align with my truth? Am I showing up for myself the way I would for a friend? So in America you say, I'm going to read it again. Am I showing up for myself the way I would for a friend or child? In Australia we'd say, am I standing up for myself? So yeah, you can work it out. But it's very interesting, isn't it? So you have a bit to think about, both of you, and to talk about, because that's going to be the savior here. Do you remember when in the beginning the abuse card fell out, and on top of it or beside it came a communication card, and I said that I can't tell the difference between a text and telephone call. Well, in this case, it's actually talking, to be honest and forthright with what's happening inside you, dear husband, and how it feels. And you, dear wife, you, with your compassion, listen to what's happening inside your husband and be there for each other. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.